Hey everyone, welcome to another session from Cloudmasters Inc. And today we're diving into the world of cloud security architecture. It's a big deal. We've all seen the headlines: data breaches, ransomware attacks, you name it. The cloud has revolutionized how we work and live, but it also presents new challenges for security. Think of it like this: you wouldn't build a PC without a firewall and antivirus, right? The same goes for the cloud. We need robust security measures to protect our data and applications. That's where cloud security architecture comes in. But first, let's break down some basics. When we talk about the cloud, we're talking about different models. There's infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, where you get the building blocks like servers and storage. Then there's platform as a service, or PaaS, which gives you the tools to build and run applications. And finally, there's software as a service, or SaaS, where you use ready-made software over the internet. Each model comes with its own security considerations. For example, with IaaS you have more control over the underlying infrastructure, so you're responsible for more of the security. With SaaS, the provider handles more of the security, but you still need to think about things like access control and data protection. Now let's talk about how we actually deploy these cloud services. There are four main models: public, private, hybrid, and multi-cloud. Public cloud is like the public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop. It's shared infrastructure offered by providers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. It's cost-effective and scalable, but you're sharing resources with others. Private cloud is like having your own server room. It's dedicated infrastructure just for your organization, offering more control and security. Think of it as your own personal data center. Hybrid cloud, as the name suggests, combines public and private clouds. You might use the public cloud for some applications and the private cloud for sensitive data. Finally, multi-cloud means using services from multiple cloud providers. It's like having a PC with parts from different manufacturers. It gives you flexibility and avoids vendor lock-in, but it can also make security more complex. Now here's a crucial point. Security in the cloud is a shared responsibility. It's like renting an apartment. The landlord is responsible for the building's security, but you're responsible for locking your door and keeping your valuables safe. The same goes for the cloud. Cloud providers are responsible for securing the underlying infrastructure, the physical servers, the network, and so on. This is known as security of the cloud. But as the cloud customer, you're responsible for securing everything you put in the cloud: your data, your applications, your configurations. This is called security in the cloud. Understanding this shared responsibility model is essential. It's like reading the fine print before you sign a contract. You need to know what the provider is responsible for and what you're responsible for so you can implement the right security measures. Section 4. Building a fortress: key elements of cloud security architecture. So, how do we actually build a secure cloud environment? Well, it's like building a fortress. We need strong walls, vigilant guards, and a plan for when things go wrong. First, we need a solid foundation. That means following security best practices like using strong passwords, enabling multi-factor authentication, and keeping our software up to date. Next, we need to control who has access to what. This is where identity and access management, or IAM, comes in. Think of it like the bouncer at a club deciding who gets in and who doesn't. We need to define roles and permissions, so only authorized users can access sensitive data. Then, we need to protect our data itself. Encryption is key here. It's like putting your data in a vault that only you have the key to. We need to encrypt data both in transit when it's moving between networks and at rest when it's stored on servers. We also need to secure our network. This is where firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and other security appliances come in. Think of them like the walls and moats of our fortress, keeping the bad guys out. And of course, we need to be prepared for when things go wrong. That means having a robust incident response plan. It's like having a fire drill. We need to know what to do if there's a breach, how to contain the damage, and how to recover our data. Section 5. Real-world scenarios, learning from cloud security incidents. Now let's get real for a second. We've all heard about those big data breaches in the news. They might seem like something that happens to other companies, but they're a stark reminder that security threats are real and constantly evolving. Imagine this. A financial institution, let's call it First Bank, decides to go all in on the cloud. They're using a multi-cloud strategy with services from both AWS and Azure. One day, their security team detects unusual activity. Someone gained unauthorized access to sensitive customer data. Turns out, a weak password on an employee's personal device was compromised. The attacker used this to gain access to First Bank's cloud environment and steal customer data. This scenario highlights the importance of strong passwords, multi-factor authentication, and employee training. It also shows the challenges of managing security in a multi-cloud environment. In another scenario, a gaming company storing terabytes of user data in the cloud experiences a ransomware attack. The attackers encrypt the data and demand a hefty ransom to unlock it. The company faces a tough decision: pay up or lose valuable data, and potentially face legal action for not protecting user information. This scenario emphasizes the crucial need for data backups and disaster recovery plans. It also highlights the importance of data encryption to prevent unauthorized access, even if the data is compromised. Section 6. Staying ahead of the curve, emerging trends in cloud security. The cloud is constantly evolving, and so are the threats. That's why it's crucial to stay ahead of the curve and adopt emerging security trends. One such trend is zero trust security. It's like the old saying, trust, but verify. In the past, we focused on building a strong perimeter around our network and trusting anyone inside. But with zero trust, we assume that no one is trustworthy by default, not even our own employees. We verify every access attempt, regardless of where it's coming from. Another trend is DevSecOps, which integrates security into the software development lifecycle. It's like building security into the very DNA of our applications. Instead of treating security as an afterthought, we're incorporating it from the ground up. We're also seeing increasing regulation around cloud security, especially when it comes to sensitive data like personal information. Compliance with regulations like GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS is not optional. It's essential for protecting user privacy and avoiding hefty fines. Section 7. Level up your security game, practical steps and best practices. So how do we put all this into practice? Here are some key takeaways to level up your cloud security game. Implement basic security hygiene practices like strong passwords, multi-factor authentication, and regular software updates. Grant users only the access they need to do their jobs, no more, no less. Use role-based access control, or RBAC, to manage permissions efficiently. Protect your data both in transit and at rest. Use encryption keys that are managed securely and rotated regularly. Keep a watchful eye on your cloud environment for suspicious activity. Use security information and event management, or CM, tools to aggregate and analyze logs from different sources. Be prepared for when things go wrong. Have a plan in place to identify, contain, and recover from security incidents. The cloud security landscape is constantly changing. Stay up to date on the latest threats, vulnerabilities, and best practices. Attend conferences, read industry publications, and participate in online forums. Remember, security is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. By adopting a proactive and comprehensive approach to cloud security, you can protect your organization's valuable assets and ensure a safe and secure cloud journey. Kindly like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.